The woke aren't going to leave Warhammer 40K alone. If you've been around these circles and seen what's happened with video games, with comics, with TV, you know that the SJWs always double down. It's a law of SJWs, and they're going to keep going over and over and over again. Now, the Space Marine 2 trailer dropped, and it actually looks pretty good on the trailer. I'm not going to just make up stuff when there isn't anything wrong. Trailer looks great. Was well done. Looks pretty. Looks like a Space Marine game like we'd want. Time will tell whether the influence of the transgender writer who covered this actually did insert any of this weird stuff into Space Marine 2. But for now, not a bad looking spot. I mean, it's 40 seconds, so it is what it is. But it seems to do honor to Warhammer lore. It seems to be just focused on the game and playing a Space Marine. So is what it is. Good stuff. But that's not what I want to talk about. There's some craziness going on where a Warhammer artist is actually virtue signaling for the female Space Marines, which are not shown here, thankfully. Thankfully, we don't have that in the video game yet. But I'm waiting for the bait and switch. I really am. So let's get into the news in just a moment, my Warhammer friends. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Join our channel here. I really appreciate you guys. The Warhammer fan base is some of the best fans out there. And the fact that Games Workshop wants to turn you away really is sad. Now, I'm a comic creator, and I have a Terran Imperium universe that might be appealing to you guys. And in The Hidden Emperor, the Emperor of Humanity has been replaced and kidnapped. And our agent Ayla Rin has to rescue him and also deal with a big threat from some rebellion in the Empire. So please check this out. It is going to be in the description below. This Kickstarter is going to go live in about maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month. We're waiting to finish up the pages. I try to get all the art done first so that we can just have a smooth campaign and deliver you books. I care about customer service, and I care about you guys. And that's what differentiates us from places like Games Workshop. So grab that in the description below. Hit the notify me on launch. I appreciate you for being there. And again, hit the like and subscribe. Join us here. So the news of the day, this is really interesting from The Gamer. Happy Pride Month. Warhammer artist John Blanche raises £18,000 for new female miniatures. So this guy, who's a Warhammer artist, decided to take the whole female Adeptus Custodes thing and run with it on the opposite direction. And he decided to stick a middle finger to everybody who loves Warhammer and say, you know what, screw you. There have always been female Space Marines, and you're going to like it. And he got a bunch of his woke acolytes out there in order to buy a bunch of figures from him. So this is exactly what's going on. And, of course, the SJWs are hailing this as some kind of great victory. There's always a niche market for these things for small groups, and they're going to tie it. They're tying it to the Trench Crusade game. They're trying it to flying in your face, and that's exactly what the entire intention of this is to do. The SJWs want to gaslight everybody into thinking that, like, oh, it's just a vocal minority of bigots who are opposed to these lore changes. And that's kind of what their tactic has been since day one of this, right? If you looked at how they responded to it, Warhammer 40K's account said that there had always been female Adeptus Custodes. It had always been that way. And they lied. They lied about it. They changed the wiki to lie about it. And this is the problem, is insulting fans' intelligences more than anything else. It's really sad. It shows that they just view you as pay pigs. So the retired Warhammer art director and legend among the community, you see how they try to pump up their leftists together. John Blanche launched a Kickstarter campaign yesterday to raise funds for several miniatures based on his artwork. In just over a day, he raised 900% of the goal, which, again, they're making this sound a lot bigger than it actually is. And that's what the SJWs always do. 900% sounds really big. Now, this is not anything to sniff at. I would love to make a Kickstarter for $70,000 here, or however many pounds that turns out to be right now. But you're looking at 1,600 backers, right? And more than that, he just made some miniatures. So there's that many miniature war gamers out there. It shows how big this market really is. The intention of this, though, again, is just to fly in the face of you and claim this is a success. So 1,600 people is great, but it's a niche of a niche. So don't view this as some sort of referendum on the culture war, or that you're somehow wrong, or that there's not many of you. Absolutely not the case. You're going to be hurting Games Workshop's pocketbook pretty badly with the 3D printer going burr at this point. And as much as there's miniatures here like this, this guy's got a following already, so he can make his miniatures, and he's got a following already. That's an easy sell, right? If you look at who he is, he's from Warhammer, so he's got fans. And so when you have fans already, it's easy to sell stuff. So they of course talk about this, but they love to tie this into the greater culture war as a large thing. So he's converting and painting female Space Marines in his retirement. Since he retired last year, he's converting and painting female Space Marines from the Trench Crusade, which, like the Custodian, caused a stir among the community. Okay? And this is where they try to go at you. Many right-wing Warhammer purists, I think it was just normal people, but okay, claimed that all Space Marines are male, which yeah, they are. Even though the lore tells us that every Marine undergoes major biological change that renders them genderless. Wait a minute. Full stop here. So you see how they even lie in the way that they frame these things. So they are male, but then they go and undergo a biological change, for their armor. But that doesn't make them not male. They're still male. They still were male, you dork. Oh my gosh. They're not female. That's not how it works. Okay. They always lie. But Blanche's conversions aren't affiliated with Games Workshop, and importantly, aren't even Space Marines. Yes. So this whole article premise about how he's making so much money on Space Marines, he made some pretty action figures of females, and people like the female form. Gamers like that. They tend to. They're not even Space Marines. They tried to frame it as this in the article and lied about it to begin with. Ridiculous. Regardless, the backlash to his post-retirement work clearly stems from a vocal minority. No, you're not. You're the majority. Don't let these people lie. The community was incredibly quick to support his new Kickstarter project, which had nothing to do with his culture war nonsense, like he said. As I'm writing, more and more backers still pouring in and adding to the pot despite having already cleared its goal almost 10 times over. With nearly a week left to go, we'll no doubt see that impressive pot fill even more. So you see how these shills act in the media. And they can't even write like an article that looks professional because they're too busy slobbering over this, trying to make it fit their political agenda, even if, again, it's not even female Space Marines. They'll lie about it and say it is, and then claim that you're bigots and that you're failing, and claim that you're just a vocal minority, and they'll make their own little circle jerk out of this with a niche of a niche. That's it. That's all that's happening here. Oh my gosh, it's so insufferable, so insufferable. And of course they'll delete comments generally. Here's one though, which is good. The lore most certainly states that Space Marines are male and male only. What Mr. Blanche chooses to do as an independent artist in no way affects the lore. Art is art, lore is lore. I wish him success. Look, and this is how people are. They want to frame this guy Mike here as a bigot. But look at what he says. He says, I wish him success. Hope he's doing well. He's a good artist. That's how a normal person reacts. That's not how a right-wing extremist reacts. I am a right-wing extremist here, but but gosh, I mean, Mike seems pretty cordial. But at the same time, these people like to lie about everything. And so, Space Marines aren't genderless. They're specifically written to be hyper-masculine. Very true. To the point where they're almost a parody of masculinity itself. Basically, every other word that comes out of their mouth is brother. Very true. And agreed. So these people are just absolutely crazy. But this is the whole point. I mean, he's trying to clickbait this to upset the fans because that's all he cares about. These SJWs aren't actually honest about anything or even their intentions on things. It's always the same old story. So it's going to continue on. They're going to lie. They're going to push things, and I really hope that this doesn't impact Space Marine 2, because if we see some female Space Marines in here, we know where it came from. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button, and make sure to check out my graphic novel, The Hidden Emperor, on Kickstarter. Hit that notify me on launch. We'll be back soon.